Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Derek Dunlap, the Positive Marketer. This is part 2 on the orgasm and the sexual energy. This is very in-depth, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you being responsible for your own ascension and joining us. This is for the powerful, positive people behind the scenes uncut. Let's just jump back into it. So what is, this sexual energy comprised of? What is this sexual energy? Okay, I'm going to explain it on the 3-dimensional plane, what this sexual energy is. Okay, and then I'm going to explain on the spiritual level of what this sexual energy is. Okay, this sexual energy on the 3-dimensional plane, the reason why it feels so good when you create this energy and manifest this energy, okay? And when you do this, there's a little spark of electricity. And in males and females, when that spark, okay, you'll know when you spark it. You can feel it when you spark that sexual energy. You go into a very, very powerful trance-like state, and your desire, and nothing can deny it. I mean, you have to really, really be in tune with who you are to spark that energy and not release your seed. But what actually happens when a man builds up this sexual energy and a female builds up this sexual energy? What's being released? In males, your whole DNA of who you are in this 3rd dimension is inside that little seed that you are, unconsciously just throwing out there on this 3-dimensional plane. Everything that makes up you is being released from your body. Your body is actually conjuring every aspect of yourself in the 3-dimensional form. Your cells, billions and trillions of cells, and just with one spark, when you ignite that sexual energy, your body has to reproduce a carbon copy, okay, with some, minor, very minor. Our mind can't even go to how minor, the changes in this DNA. You're writing your DNA. And that spark, that quick spark, same as the female, that quick spark, when you spark that sexual desire, you're actually tapping into a higher realm of power, and you are duplicating yourself. Everything about you, your color, your eyes, your DNA, your awareness is even in that DNA. You can believe it or not. That's why when people come into these portals based on the parents' awareness, you're bringing that soul into this dimension, this 3rd dimension, consciously or unconsciously. And that's why when you go to minorities, right, who are producing a lot of babies unconsciously, their babies are coming into this dimension, as even if they're starseeds or indigos, they have to start from wherever their parents are. You understand what I'm trying to say? So your whole DNA of what you are made of in the 3D, the physical form, is sparked as soon as you ignite that sexual desire. And the same goes for the female. Everything you are here is in that nut. So you have to look at exactly what it is and learn how to keep that a sacred thing. I don't know if that's the right word. Embrace what it is, but you can't would you just throw yourself, everything that your true existence, everything that you are, would you just so freely hand that around and misuse and guide that? I don't think you would if you really, really knew what your seed actually was. Okay? So that's on the physical. Are you guys with me? Okay? And so, wow, this gets so deep. In the spiritual realm, okay, and I have actually experienced this. In the spiritual plane, when you build up that sexual energy, right? Now this is right outside the third dimension. We got interdimensional beings. All right, I know for some of you this is going to be hard to swallow, but there are a lot of different kinds of interdimensional beings. I have experienced this firsthand, and I'm sharing it on this podcast, this audio. I think I shared this on one other podcast with a good friend of mine. I have the ability, through much patience and much discernment, to leave my physical body and enter into other dimensions through mentalism. And I have had direct contact with these interdimensional beings during my sexual energy being used the wrong way. Okay, and this at one particular time when I first became aware of this, it was very, very scary. Very scary. Now, I'm not ashamed to talk about it here. It'll help some of you. So on the spiritual plane, when you release this energy in the wrong way, and your life force energy just shoots out of your body, in the physical, we call it semen, right? You just shoot it anywhere, right? But in the spiritual form, there are interdimensional beings right outside the phase of this dimension that eat. Are you guys hearing me? They eat and they devour and they gorge on your life force energy. It's what keeps them alive. And I know you heard this before, that negative entities feed on your energy. You got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, your life force energy, your orgasm, is the divine presence of what you call God in you. And when you relinquish this so freely, you are giving up your connection to your divine presence. That's why it feels so good, because at that present moment, when you release that energy, you are one with all that there is. You even forget about your existence of being a human being. You forget about the car note. You forget about everything in that one present moment when you release that orgasm. And then you slowly come back to the third dimension. You slowly come back to your human identity. You slowly come back to where you are now. But that energy is gone. And you got, oh my God, I saw this through my pineal gland. All of these interdimensional beings. I had shot my seed out. And I was just laying in bed. My pineal gland was open. I was high and I was slowly coming back, like I just explained to you guys. And I saw, I can't even count them. They were all over me, not harming me, not hurting me, not attacking me. They were eating my life force energy. And the more they ate this energy, see, that energy is in multiple dimensions at the same time. You got to understand, you guys and gals are multi-dimensional beings. And that life force energy, right, is creating in the spiritual realm too, and the physical. It's manifesting in all of these realms simultaneously. And the more these beings were eating my life force energy, the weaker. I became aware of how weak I was starting to feel. And we do this unconsciously, if you guys can grasp what I'm talking about. After sex, you are weak. And I'm telling you why. I've experienced it. I saw it through my pineal gland. Interdimensional beings are eating you. Literally, your life force energy. And they know how to stimulate you in a way to make you give up that seed if you can't control this sexual energy. It's deep. It's deep. This rabbit hole goes real, real deep. So, To catch us up, what's going on now in 2016 in our state, we are procreating unconsciously, and we are creating out of lust. We are not creating out of love. We are not creating, most of us, with our soulmates. You'll know when you have your soulmate. We're creating out of lust, and we are bringing unconsciously low level vibrating souls. We are giving these souls that are trying to come into this dimension through portals, through the womb. The one man's womb is the portal to the three-dimensional plane. The sexual energy gets them here. But because we are unconscious of our procreation and unconscious of how divine this energy and how sacred this energy is, we're bringing low-level awareness beings and souls in with very, very low levels of consciousness. These are your inner cities. These are your poverty-driven cities, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'm telling you, these higher intelligent races that run the third dimension, a lot of you call them the Illuminati. A lot of you call them, the occults. They know this information already that I'm giving you guys. I'm doing it underground. I'm using my platform to give this information to people who really want to know what's going on. Why it's so fucked up down here? There are origins on the planet Earth right now that have the same bloodline for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. They know exactly how to use their sexual energy to maintain their bloodline. They don't go outside of their bloodline. And that's why their awareness is so much higher than you and I. Understand what I'm telling you. Try to grasp this as much as you can. Okay? When you're just throwing around your DNA, your seed, and you just sowing it in any fertile, big behind or big booty out there, you're just duplicating your awareness and you're just throwing it out there. You're not procreating consciously. You are not with your soulmate. You are not with that goddess who is in total agreement with you, that you both can agree. Discerning the Bible again, when two or three agree in my name, I'm there in the midst. That's that divine presence that Christ was talking about. I'm just pulling that information down and discerning it so you can understand. When you are in agreement with your goddess or your soulmate, okay, you can tap into that divine presence and use that sexual energy for what it was intended thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. Okay? All right. I know this is a lot. So I touched on the proper way to use this sexual energy, but I'm going to go into a little more detail for those of you who are addicted to masturbation and addicted to spilling your seed. And I can understand that addiction. I won't say now that I have more control over it. Addiction is when something is out of control. And you got to be honest with yourself. If you're masturbating every day, and I'm not pointing my finger at you, because there was a point in time in my life where I masturbated every day for years. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. Now you understand. You could be the judgment of what it is to you. If you can stay centered doing that, and you can ascend through that with low levels of life force energy, dragging, no clarity, unable to create, that's your life force energy. That's the energy used for creation and manifestation in the third dimensional plane. And those who can control and not release their seed become very, very powerful physically and mentally and spiritually. You can connect on higher planes of awareness because you're preserving this sacred unification of you and that divine presence. So it's hard for me to say let's throw that word out, the proper way. Here's a way that you can use. Okay? That's better, right? Here's a way that you could use sexual energy to connect and create with what some would call the angels, right? And higher level angelical beings. And create a child from your heart chakra. Okay, and you could do this by its techniques, and I can't go into all of the techniques on this audio, but you can create this child from the desires of your heart. You know what kind of child you desire. You just haven't been taught how to manifest life into this dimension, connecting with angelical beings and the gods of creations. You've been taught how to manifest money. You've been taught how to manifest houses. You've been taught how to manifest, everything else. Just stay with me. This is deep, right? You've been taught that you are what you think. Your thoughts create your reality, right? You got to understand the intent behind this heart of man. You've been taught how to manifest everything else but the child. That children. New souls coming into this dimension. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Getting excited here. This is deep. Nobody has taught you or even touched on how to manifest the child from your heart that you need right now to help you ascend. I said it before. The new souls coming into this dimension have the answers that we need now to ascend from 3-dimensional awareness into the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensions. But now if you are just procreating unaware, right, unconsciously, you're just busting nuts everywhere, I'm sorry to be graphic, and you're not procreating strategically through visualization and using higher levels of breathing, and you're with your soulmate, and you're doing this on purpose. You know what you want, you know what you desire, and you use your will, your intent to create. You're impregnating women who are running right to the abortion clinic. And they're killing and destroying the souls that are trying to come in and help us cure cancer. They're aborting the souls that are coming in to take down the New World Order. They're aborting the souls who could say, hey, this is how you cure diabetes. The souls are being aborted who have the answers to poverty, who have the answers from the gods, who coming into this portal. Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening. If you just look around you, there are babies coming in with level 5 awarenesses. All of these gifted people are coming in on purpose through intended procreation. Okay, so if you're tired of living in poverty, you have to learn how to procreate and use your sexual energy on a higher level of awareness. Okay, I hope this is making sense. I'm trying. This is by far the hardest thing that I'm having to try to translate to you guys, because in my being right now, I'm no longer addicted to my sexual energy. I've learned how to use that sexual energy, and I'm going to wrap it up giving you some examples of how to rise above masturbation. Okay? And I won't say how to become unaddicted, because that's not what happens, right? Addiction is with anything. You can't rise high enough to see that you're repeating the same thing mentally over and over and over and over and over again. The hardest addiction, and this will be your journey on this planet, your incarnation, is to be reminded who you are, what you are, right? And to learn how to master and use the sexual energy You see, as you ascend, you will learn and get control of that sexual energy. And those who cannot will not enter into the higher levels of angelical, the dimensions. In the Bible, it's called the kingdom of heaven, right? Remember, it says no whores, no liars. You understand what I'm saying? Will enter into that realm. Because even in the fifth dimensional realm, it's telepathy. Nobody's speaking up there, so you can't even lie. You wouldn't even waste your time trying to lie, because someone can look right into your mind and know what you're thinking. So what's a lie in these other dimensions where telepathy is used? Is anybody with me? Okay, and those of you who have been in those higher realms, you know that telepathy is used in those higher realms. Nobody's talking. You can't lie in the fifth and sixth dimension. They're reading your mind. Okay, so how do you ascend higher to get, to learn how to use this energy in a non-destructive way? You have got to learn how to move massive amounts of sexual energy. Okay, you have to learn how to move that sexual energy from your genital areas, right? In a female, from your clitoris area. That's just the spark. The clitoris is just the spark. The penis head sparks the energy. Okay, I'm just being real with you guys right now. That's the spark. Okay, it's just like lighting a match. Okay, the fire is lit. All right, you have to learn how to move that energy from the root chakra and the sacral chakra. That's where all that sexual energy is deriving from. And in most cases, people don't know how to move that energy from that sacral chakra up into the solar plex chakra. That's in the stomach. When you feel, like the roller coaster, you have to move it from there to the sacral, to the heart, from the heart to the throat chakra, right? You got to move this energy from lower areas of your body all the way up through your body in a circular motion. You have to learn how to do this. And you do this from controlled, rhythmatic breathing. You got to bring that energy up. You got to let that energy rise. What happens is, because you're not learning how, you haven't been taught. Okay? They don't teach this. You haven't been taught how to move that energy up. So what happens is, when you're with your soulmate, or you're with your partner, or whoever you're with, or you're by yourself, you spark that sexual energy down there, and you keep, you know what I'm saying? It's like incense. You keep blowing the incense. You keep blowing the incense. It's lit, and it burns out, and you just pop and release the energy. It's too much energy to be stored in that one chakra. You have to learn how to move that energy all throughout your body. And you can experience, I'm telling you firsthand, what you call the orgasm right now, it only lasts a couple seconds. The energy that I'm telling you, when you learn how to move that sexual energy, right? Throughout your entire body, you can experience the same orgasm that the woman experiences, and in many cases where she's shaking and vibrating and just going crazy. Males, you could do this too. You can experience that feeling for hours and not release your seed. Are you guys with me? Now, I can't go into great detail on the techniques that I've been using. I'm 90 days in as I make this podcast. I'm only telling you what I've been experiencing. I'm not giving you anything that I haven't experienced. I have not shot my seed, and I'm with the most beautiful woman on the planet. And why haven't I shot my seed? Because I understand that that's my life force energy right now, and I've learned how to move that energy from my genital area, where it's real simple, and I push that energy up higher. And the higher I push that energy, that sexual energy up, the greater the sensation. And me and my goddess have learned each other's rhythm, and we breathe in rhythm while we're performing these sexual, I just call them rituals. I don't want to get too graphic. And we learn how to breathe as one. And I share my breath of life with my goddess. I breathe into her mouth while we're kissing, and she takes my breath and she breathes in my breath of life. We become one again, ladies and gentlemen. Is anybody understanding what I'm telling you? This is the key to unlock the mysteries and the misuse of sexual energy. Busting nuts is going to keep you in this purgatory, this fallen physical state, weak, barbaric, carnival-like, meat eaters, heavy, low vibrations, right? Poverty mindset, call it what it is. But when you learn how to use this sexual energy, and I'm going to do I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to show you how to rise above masturbation. You can rise above that. And I'm just telling you from my own experience, and I wish my goddess was here. My God, my wife, she would tell you how sensual it is. Oh, you have not had an orgasm until you move that sexual energy all over your body. That spark. You guys know what I'm talking about. That feeling when you're about to have that orgasm. Right? You're going to learn mentally how to capture that feeling right there and hold on to that frequency. Hold on to that energy and just move it around your body, and then give a little bit to your partner. Let her breathe it in, and then she's going to receive it, right? And males, I'm going to give you a little bit right here before I close, right? You are grounded by your shaft with your partner. Your shaft connects you. Are you guys following me? This is deep. Your penis being inserted into your partner, right, grounds you two together. The female, okay, and I didn't make this up, okay? If you're with a female, the female is the positive energy. If you're the male, you are the negative energy. It takes positive and negative in everything we know into this to make fire. Are you guys with me? Electricity. So we're talking about moving a lot of energy. The orgasm is a lot of energy, electricity. Okay? So your penis inserted in that portal, that vaginal area, unlocks the key to the positive and the negative energy. So when you're sharing the breath of life, she's breathing in your negative energy, and you're breathing in her positive energy, and you're in rhythm, participating in sexual acts in perfect rhythm, in movement and controlled breathing. This sexual energy becomes a circle, and that's the marriage. That's the ring. That's what that ring on your finger represents. This rabbit hole goes deep, ladies and gentlemen. That's that circle. That's that circle. Maintaining that sexual energy in that circle. Sharing that breath of life. Sharing that sexual energy. Not spilling the seed. And this controlled breathing and this rhythm, what it does is it takes your focus off of the genital area and the vaginal area. And that sensation, right? That energy is being distributed. Right? It's being distributed in perfect balance, perfect harmony, perfect matrimony. It's a marriage between the male and the female. Only because sexual energy was to what? Okay? Get back to the origin. To create. To procreate. I'm not talking about who you spend the rest of your life with. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not talking about, that's on you. You can share this energy, male on male and female with female. But just understand, right? Doing this act, you won't procreate. It wasn't designed for you to procreate using the positive and the negative. You understand what I'm saying? You can't put two men together, two negatives together to generate that spark of creation. Alright? I just want you to understand that. Now, I'm not talking about cloning. When you clone, clones don't have souls. Clones are not immortal. This is artificial intelligence that they're doing now. I'm talking about live, living souls, right? It is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? It's nothing wrong, to me now, this is from my perspective, there's nothing wrong with two women being together. You guys love each other. If you're soulmates, be together. But just know, in this three-dimensional, you won't have the ability to procreate. Alright? You won't. You two. You're going to have to, right? You're going to have to bring that negative energy to unite with that positive energy. And so what a lot of people are doing right now, they're bringing the male in, the two females living as a couple, and they're bringing that male in. You see what I'm saying? And then that female is carrying that seed. It is what it is. Okay? So I'm at 30 minutes again. I hope this helped you. It sure has helped me, being behind the scenes, uncut raw. My secret place in the busy, noisy city. This is Derek Dunlap. We've been talking about sexual energy, the orgasm. I hope this helps you ascend higher so you can get over the addiction and the misuse of sexual energy, and you can start to procreate consciously with your soulmate, right? That you could become in union, in holy matrimony, right? With your soulmate, or if you want to call it your wife, right? Or your partner. I love you. Bye for now.